Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. We give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a hell of a show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, we're trying to hit 200,000 subs this month, so we'd really appreciate it if you guys help us hit our goal and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me get into this topic here. So as you guys know, a lot of people have been kind of coming at LeBron James after the firing of Lakers head coach Darvin Ham, right? A lot of people are upset with that decision. Voices like Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, Michael Wilbon, a lot of people, right? Like Kendrick Perkins and so many others. And one of those people seems to be former Laker great and former Laker head coach and Byron Scott. So yesterday I tuned into Undisputed. And to my surprise, who did I see sitting on the panel? Byron Scott. And I'm like, what's going on here? Well, apparently they invited him on the show for the day, and they were discussing the state of affairs with the Lakers, specifically as it pertains to their head coaching vacancy. So when it came time for Byron Scott to speak, I thought he was going to take a PC position, a politically correct position. But to the surprise of me, and to the surprise of many of the viewers, I even remember reading some of the comments like, damn, somebody said Byron Scott woke up this morning and decided to choose violence. He started going off on the Lakers as an organization. Then he started essentially saying that, listen, look, LeBron is the one actually pulling all the strings. And he's saying that, listen, since LeBron believes that he's a know-it-all, essentially, he's like, then why doesn't he coach the team? Since he pretty much seems to know everything. And I was like, whoa. What is going on here? So those are the comments that we want to get into. But before we even get into his comments, this video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks, which is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. PrizePicks is really simple. Instead of just selecting a team, you just select two or more players, pick more or less their projected stats, and then you place your entry. For example, this week, I'm selecting two entries. Stephen Curry for more than 25 points, and then I got Anthony Davis for more than 2 blocks and Damian Lillard for more than 4 3-pointers made. PrizePicks is also the only daily sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So for example, if you have a player who gets injured in the first half and doesn't return to the second half, that player gets automatically rebooted. What I also love about PrizePicks is that it offers weekly promotions like Taco Tuesdays. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is right now, we actually want to play the audio of Byron Scott actually saying this, and then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to what he had to say here.
My recommendation, the next Laker coach, and out of the 8 or 9 names that I've heard, his name wasn't on there, is make LeBron the coach.
Ooh.
Make LeBron the coach.
I have half-kiddingly suggested, let him be the player coach.
Make him the coach.
Then why you say that, B?
Listen, I got nothing but love and respect for LeBron. I love him. I think he's one of the greatest players that ever played this game. But it's obvious to me, at least, that he's making a lot of decisions that's going on in this organization.
No doubt.
From a coaching standpoint to a player standpoint. So if you're going to allow him to make those decisions, all right, sit on the bench and make those decisions as well. Be the head coach. JJ Redick.
You mean player coach, right?
Player head coach.
Yeah. Well, it's happened before.
Go back to Bill Russell days.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Lenny Wilkins.
Yeah. So some of the names that I've heard, you obviously have to get somebody that LeBron is comfortable with from a head coaching standpoint. The last name I heard was JJ Redick. When I started laughing, well, now they got a podcast together, so y'all comfortable, y'all buddy. So now his name is on the list. So as far as I'm concerned,
and by the way, that
podcast
is an X's and O's podcast, so they're talking real hardcore basketball. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
But as far as I'm concerned, the only person that he's going to really trust is himself. And since you're making a lot of these decisions anyway, why not put him in that seat?
I don't think he'd want the pressure of sitting in the co-seat, the dual seat. But I love it.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Because you got to have somebody.
Well, you don't have anybody to blame except yourself, right?
I was about to say, you got to have a scapegoat in that
Yeah.
seat, as they've had the last 4 years. You got Frank Vogel, who wins a championship with them. The next year, boom, he's gone. Darvin Ham, who goes to the Western Conference Finals last year, this year, boom, he's gone. So what are you looking for? What do you need as a head coach to get this team to the next level? You got two of the best players in the NBA. Even at 39 years old, LeBron is still one of the best players in the NBA. Anthony Davis this year played out of his mind, in my opinion. Played more games than he's played since he's been a Laker, was as healthy as can be. Yeah. Played great against Denver, against one of the best players, if not the best player in the league in the Joker. Held his own. So
he did.
At the end of the day, to me, I'm looking at it, just make LeBron the coach.
All right. So I half kidded about this, but would you have any interest if they had interest in you?
No.
No?
No. I've been there, done that. And again, it's one of those jobs right now where all the pressure and all the blame is always on the coach. You got superstars and you got coaches. Coaches are getting blamed, superstars aren't. You don't have these guys taking accountability for what they've done in the playoffs or what they've done over the regular season. It all goes back to the coaches. Now, maybe some of that is legit when you talk about X's and O's and things of that nature. But for the most part, as far as I'm concerned, I think for the first time in a long time, this organization, which I love to death, y'all all know I bleed purple and gold, is in flex. They have to figure out what they're looking for and stick to it. I mean, obviously in coaching anymore, coaching in this league anymore, you don't have teams that are showing the same type of loyalty that they used to back in the day. To me, there's only really a couple of organizations that really give their coaches the chance to develop and grow with their players. And one of those is San Antonio with Pop, obviously, who's been there for years. And then you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's my favorite.
Oh, no, I understand.
That's my team. The Steelers is my organization. They've had 3 coaches in their lifetime. So I look at this as partly, like you said, I'm partly joking because I don't know who that coach would be right now, who's the right fit for the Lakers. So I'm, give it to LeBron.
So you heard what he had to say. Listen, first of all, I was surprised to see him say that. If I'm being 100% honest with you, I was surprised to see him say that. And the reason I was surprised to see him say that was because, first of all, it was the first time I had ever heard anyone on television say something like that, number one. But number two, what seems to be happening is the following. It seems that a lot of people are beginning to get fed up with LeBron. Just Kendrick Perkins, who's a childhood friend of LeBron James. We know him. Known him for a long time. He said that he thinks he should retire. We produced the show yesterday on our channel. I don't know if you guys saw it. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go check it out. Of Stephen A. Smith essentially saying, look, Kendrick Perkins, even he's beginning to think of whether or not he should remove LeBron from the go. This is what's happening. Stephen A. Smith is going at him. People are beginning to get tired of these antics. And some people that reacted to what Byron Scott had to say, he said, so listen, he's a former coach sticking up for coaches. If we're going to be honest about it, the Lakers are a total mess from top to bottom. No one knows who runs that organization, if we're being totally frank with you guys. An organization that would have had 4 coaches in the last 7 years tells you that there's total disarray. Total disarray. They don't know what they want to do. You have Frank Vogel, who was a championship head coach. He wins a championship for you. You guys fire him a year after. Then you go get a new coach in Darvin Ham. The first year, I believe, he helps take the team to the Western Conference Finals. You lose to the eventual champions. The following season, you lose to the NBA. Not like as if you just lost to some run-of-the-mill team in the playoffs. And immediately after that, you fire him. You have players in the press conference who are essentially throwing their head coach under the bus. Players like Anthony Davis. You have LeBron James on live television showing up his coach and his entire. I had never seen a public display from an NBA player, a star player towards his coach, like what LeBron did to Darvin Ham. It was absolutely embarrassing. And at the end of all of it, after they end up losing the series, they fire the head coach. None of the players want to take any accountability. So for Byron Scott to say, listen, LeBron is the one pulling all the strings at the organization, blah, 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 then he's like, so you coach the team then. If you're doing a show with JJ Redick, Mind the Game, and you seem to know everything about basketball, you've never made a wrong play in your NBA career, which is crazy when you think about it. Listen to what he just said. I've never made the wrong play. Imagine you working with somebody at your job and they're like, I've never made a mistake on the job, ever. Ever. Every single decision I've made has always been the right one. You would say that you're dealing with a pathological narcissist that has zero self-awareness. So if you believe that you have all of the answers, you have all of the remedies, then you coach the damn team. You coach the damn team. So that seems to be what Byron Scott seems to think. I was absolutely floored by his response. So what I want to know from you guys is the following. Number one, what do you think about what Byron Scott had to say? Do you think it was inbounds or out of bounds? And number two, most importantly, who do you think the Lakers should hire as their next head coach? Or do you think that, listen, as things currently stand, even if they go out there and get a new coach, it will be a total disaster. You heard, I don't know if you saw the full segment, they were like, why don't you take the job? He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I don't feel like being blamed for every single thing that happens with the team. And when you begin to have a reputation as that as an organization, you are in serious trouble because no serious candidate wants to be a part of a scapegoat-a-thon. Who wants to be annexed to this type of madness? It's a mess. The Lakers are the drama kings of the NBA. Absolute mad. And that's one of the reasons I can't support them anymore. I was a Kobe, bro. It was never like this when Kobe was playing. Now the Lakers are the TMZ team of the NBA. The TMZ team. And then you have people all over the internet on sports media, on television, twerking it up all over the place, knocking over coffee cups, hollering and screaming, running up and down the hallway, slapping each other with honey, lying to all of their viewers every single damn day. This is where we are with the Lakers. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.